Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Josh's Race Preview Show. Today's episode will be previewing next race for the NASCAR Spring Cup Series, the Budweiser Duels up at Daytona International Speedway. So let's get it started. So, as you can see on your screen, it says once again that the race will be on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. That's the first race for the Budweiser Duels. The second one is scheduled for 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1 as well. So, before we get right into everything involving this race, I want to go over what happened with the Sprint Unlimited and qualifying for the Daytona 500. So, let's start off with Sprint Unlimited. Matt Kenseth ended up winning the Sprint Unlimited last night. He led a good amount of the laps. He spent most of the time up front. He did a really good job staying in the lead. So, it's really been a good season so far for Matt. It's only one race, obviously, but, he did a really good job last night. Give him some credit. He was actually not only, one of the 12 drivers that completed the race. There was 25 drivers in the race, but more than half of them, were taken out of the race, because of cautions or being wrecked. There was two big wrecks in the race. The first one involved 14 cars. I'll go over that one with you guys. What happened was with that caution, Greg Biffle got up behind Jamie McMurray, and he ended up getting Jamie loose. He spun down to the inside lane, then his car turned the other way and came back up the racetrack, and he collected multiple cars, and a lot of cars were torn up pretty bad. The one cool thing, though, which I found pretty cool, you can look it up on the NASCAR website, which I found really cool, was that if you look closely enough at the footage of the wreck, you can see Denny Hamlin doing a wheelie with his back tires for a couple seconds. So I don't know if anybody of you guys noticed that, but that was pretty cool to me. So that was what happened with that one. The second one involved 4 cars. I didn't name the 14 other drivers that were in the first one, but I know because it would be too much to remember. So I did remember the ones in the second one. It involved Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, and Kurt Busch. Those were the guys in the second crash. What happened with that one was Kyle Busch almost did the same thing like what happened in this first crash, but he ended up getting behind Stewart. He got Stewart loose. He came down the racetrack and hit Greg Biffle pretty hard. Greg went and hit the inside wall really hard, like Danica Patrick did in one of the Budweiser Duel races back in 2012. That was a pretty massive hit that Greg had. Then when he came back off the wall, he was moving forward still because he still had some speed. He came up and hit Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch's car came off the ground but landed fine. Landed on all 4 wheels. Jeff Gordon didn't really get involved, but he almost did. He kind of had to work his way through it. He ended up going through the infield and almost hit one of the cars. I think it might have been Tony Stewart that he almost hit, or Kurt Busch. I doubt that it wasn't Greg Biffle. It was either Kurt Busch or Tony Stewart that he almost hit, but he had a good save there. So that was the Sprint Unlimited. Matt Kenseth won that race. But now let's get on to what happened today for qualifying for the Daytona 500. Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson will be on the front row for the Daytona 500. This, I believe, is second, third, or fourth time. I think it might have been the fourth time that Hendrick Motorsports has swept the front row for the Daytona 500. So Jeff Gordon's on the pole though, so pretty cool way to go out in his season for Jeff Gordon. I'm really happy that he got the pole. I hope that he'll be a really big contender for the race. It would definitely be cool to see him go out with a Daytona 500 win. So, anyways, this is Jeff Gordon's 78th pole award, which I found insane and amazing. It was just crazy to know that's how many he got, but that's awesome to know that. So, anyways, sorry if you guys hear my computer. I have it for something later on the show. But anyways, so that, yeah, so he has 78, poles. This is his second for the Daytona 500. So, and now, after they finished qualifying for the Daytona 500, they released the starting lineups for the Budweiser Duels, and I'm going to tell you, first I'm going to start out with the starting lineup for the Budweiser Duel number 1. On the pole, it's Jeff Gordon. Then we have Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Austin Dillon, Jamie McMurray, Johnny Sauter, Trevor Bayne, Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, J.J. Yaley, Paul Menard, A.J. Allmendinger, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Casey Mears, Michael Annett, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, Clint Boyer, Justin Marks, Cole Witt, Landon Castle, and Ron Hornaday Jr. So, yeah, that's the starting lineup for the first race for the Budweiser Duel. Then we have in Budweiser number 2, or the Budweiser Duel number 2, we have Jimmy Johnson on the pole, followed by Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, Ty Dillon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex Jr., Greg Biffle, Sam Hornish Jr., Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a lot of junior drivers here kind of thing. That's a lot. Then we have Ryan Blaney, Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte, Alex Bowman, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Danica Patrick, Brian Scott, Justin Allgaier, David Gilliland, Jeb Burton, Reed Sorensen, David Reagan, Josh Wise, and Mike Wallace. So those are your starting lineups for the Budweiser Duels. And now I'm going to tell you my predictions for these races. I don't know if any of you guys remember any part of that lineup for the races, but so my prediction for the first Budweiser Duels, I believe that Carl Edwards is going to win the first Budweiser Duel. He'll probably lead a good, decent amount of laps, stay in the front pack. He ended up finishing third last night in the Budweiser, or no, not the Budweiser Duel, the Sprint Unlimited last night. And I feel that Carl Edwards is going to perform almost exactly the same that he did in the Sprint Unlimited last night. So, and then now it's time to discuss how many cautions there'll be. Normally on this show I probably won't do cautions like if it was for the next race, or not the next race, but in a couple races like for Atlanta or Phoenix or Las Vegas or Auto Club. I probably won't do that for those, but I think that there will be a couple of cautions, probably 2 I would imagine. One's probably going to be for debris, and another one will probably be for a 5-car pileup. I don't know who it would be, but so that's what I think for the first Budweiser Duel. The second one, I know a lot of you guys are a fan of this driver. He's one of the biggest in the sport. I think that Dale Jr. is going to win the second Budweiser Duel. I think that, though, he's going to play a little strategy with his new crew chief, Greg Ives. I think that in that race, I think Dale Jr. is going to try and play it safe and stay in the back of the pack, and for, I don't know, maybe a little bit more than half of the race, I would imagine. And probably try to move up as quick as you can for the rest of the race after that, and then he'll have a chance to win it, hopefully. So we'll see what happens for Dale Jr. Now it's time for the cautions again. I think that for this second duel, there'll probably be 5 cautions, 2 for debris, and 3 probably for a couple of small pileups involving only like 1 or 2 cars, probably. But, you know, so that's that. So that's the end of the show, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I also want to see who you guys think will win these races. So just comment that in the comments below as well. And if you do ask any questions, I will answer them in the next episode. So hopefully you guys will comment. So the next race, or no, sorry guys. So here's the dates again, as you can see on your screen. The race for the Budweiser Duels will start Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1, and the second race will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1 also. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for the Daytona 500. Bye, guys.